Why don't you take a few minutes to talk about your business and tell the listeners what you do, what you specialize in, and how they can contact you guys if they need you.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we do software development, custom software development. People usually, the next question is, well, what kind? And every kind is the answer.
Okay.
We built a curriculum management system for the second largest school district in Colorado.
Ah,
We built the fleet management software for the second largest commercial fleet in the US. And we just signed a contract with the Air Force just a little while ago.
oh,
So it's not all,
congratulations.
oh, thank you. Sometimes it's these really gigantic organizations, and other times it's really small businesses that have 10 or 20 people, and they're a startup and they need help with their web or mobile application. So
Okay.
that's the kind of stuff we do. Um,
If we had, so an example, let's say Riderflex, my recruiting firm,
mhm.
if we used an applicant tracking system, an off-the-shelf applicant tracking system, but we wanted it modified in a bunch of ways, would we call you? Is that an example or no?
We do some kind of integrations like that. If you said, well, I want every time I hit submit or somebody applies for a job, I want it to go over here and over there also. Well, we
Okay.
can kind of help with those kind of off-the-shelf software integrations, but most of the time it's the full custom
Okay.
built from scratch software.
If Riderflex wanted a mobile app for all of our candidates to be able to access us through a mobile app and apply and do a video of themselves and all that, and we wanted it to be
Sure.
custom built, we'd call you.
Yeah, that would be the kind of thing that more like the kind of thing we do.
Okay.
We get calls probably a couple a day at this point from people saying, I've got an idea for an app. And the good thing about it is that there's a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of kind of entrepreneurial spirit out there and a lot of fresh ideas. The thing that might be helpful for your listeners that also have an idea for an app is just make sure you think through the full business piece of it. Because most of the time, well, just people are at different stages, I should say, in their thinking. And most of the people that contact us are, I have an idea. And they haven't thought through, how are you going to market this? How will you promote this? Will this be in the app store? You could do this kind of evenings and weekends up to a point. And then if it's successful enough, you're going to need to quit your job. How would you make money on this? How would you charge people?
Mm-hmm.
Just managing the risk. How would you get money? Just all the businessy stuff. A lot of times they haven't really gone through that. Sometimes they have.
Yep.
But a lot of times they're like, no, I just thought this is a problem. It annoys me. Somebody should make an app. And so here's my idea.
Yeah. Well, the problem is there's a million apps and the average user, what is it? I read this the other day. The average smartphone user only plays around with up to 10 or 12. There's only so many apps they want to deal with before they just like, okay, I can't, it's too many.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what we often tell people that are in those early stages, sometimes people are done, they've thought through all that and they're like, I know, I'm ready to build an app. Are you the vendor that we're going to go with to do the coding?
Mm-hmm.
And they're really kind of shopping for someone to go implement it. But when someone's in those early stages, what we'll often recommend is go build a web version of this.
Oh, good.
And do the tiniest thing that you can to either prove what you've got, so you can go to like a trade show and sit at a table, and as people walk by, you go, haven't you ever had the such and such problem? Well, look, our little doohickey that we've come up with takes that problem away. And it's rough, but you're going to really love phase 2 that's coming out, this spring.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can start taking in sales, getting interest, promoting it.
Gotcha.
There's also so much information out there about how to promote things on the web.
There is. I totally.
It's a known thing. So like,
I've interviewed several guests for this podcast that started their business by simply going into social media and gaining interest, and they hadn't even made the product yet. They acted like they had made the product, and then people, once they got enough followers and people said, "Hey, I want one," then they actually said, "Oh shit, I guess I better figure out how to make
Yeah.
this."
Well, it's not a bad way to go, because if you follow some of the lean thinking stuff, that's all about
Yep.
um, your product or service that you're offering is really like a hypothesis for, can I build a business doing this,
Mm-hmm.
building this product or selling this service?
Mm-hmm.
And until people are ready to part with their money or show high levels of interest, you haven't proven the hypothesis yet.
Right.
So
Yep. Totally agree.
come up with the smallest thing that you can possibly get in front of somebody, or even just, it can be like popsicle sticks and whatever, just something that you cobble together and say, like, this is my
Mm-hmm.
thought, and it's not even a prototype yet, but here's what I'm thinking. Because you can find out, people will tell you, like,
Oh yeah. Yep.
I would never pay for that. I'd pay $100 for that. I would pay $10,000 for that.
And, and
So
by and by the way, hopefully there's people telling you they'll pay for that aren't your friends or family.
exactly, you got to get, yeah, people that aren't going to just say
Uh,
something nice to spare your feelings. You got to
uh,
hear the straight truth from strangers.
absolutely.